Hello class and Dr. Lucas. This is my presentation of treatment options for schizophrenia. My name is Daisy. If you have any questions, feel free to comment afterwards. For our overview, we will be covering what schizophrenia is, the involved neurotransmitters and associated medicinal treatment plans, the most common treatment versus no treatment, alternative treatments we'll review, and then references. So, schizophrenia is a long-term mental disorder that significantly affects one's ability to maintain stable functioning independently. This disorder commonly occurs from adolescence to early adulthood, and currently the etiology is unknown. It is often disabling because it involves positive, negative, and cognitive symptoms, severely impacting daily functionality. Despite neuroimaging, research, genetics, etc., there is no end-all be-all treatment for this disorder. It must be to the discretion of the professionals close to the child. Positive symptoms are addressed by antagonizing D2 dopamine receptors. Because this disorder relies on symptomatic treatment, whichever symptom presents as more escalated will have its neurotransmitter targeted. The D2 dopamine receptor is an example of that. That D2 dopamine receptor is not always going to be the same for every schizophrenic case. That's just a really good example to help one understand how it would target, but then also understand that it's ever changing according to the symptoms. Since there are no all-encompassing treatment options, it leaves the professional to weigh pros and cons of each available treatment option. With first and second generation antipsychotics, one should consider how this only addresses the symptoms of the disorder. But using this treatment option allows for a more personalized treatment approach, targeting a specific array of symptoms because everyone's body reacts differently to the same disorder. So the medication or antipsychotics somewhat give an advantage of a little more, it's personal to the patient. It should be noted that there are other approaches available, and not using antipsychotics eliminates the risk of dependency. When it says no treatment, we're talking about antipsychotics or not antipsychotics. And when we think about the antipsychotic route, it's not that there's just, what do we do if it's not treated at all? It's what else is available aside from that. So that's what we're going to talk about next. So alternative treatments. Transcranial magnetic stimulation is a method used to treat schizophrenia, which proves to be non-invasive while stimulating nerve cells to certain parts of the brain by applying an electrical current. Then there is also antipsychotic therapy. My personal recommendation is to always use the least intrusive alternative. The example here would be therapy, the antipsychotic therapy. However, I am not recommending to stay limited to that. Obviously, if that does not work, I encourage going up to the next intrusive recommendation. So, we went over the long-term disabling disorder, schizophrenia. After learning that the etiology was unknown and research has not brought to light any clear answers, it leaves professionals treating the symptoms of the disorder rather than the disorder itself. We cover treatment options and recommendations, leading us to the review. This is the reference slide. Let me know if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, and thank you for your time. Have a wonderful day.